for some people, a lot of their use centered around medical facilities. We know people who, went from doctor to doctor shopping for prescriptions. We know people who have had unneeded surgeries in order to get medications, have had teeth removed that didn't need to be removed, etc., in order to get pain medication. So for some people, the doctor's office is a trigger, and just in that way, that's where they got high. Another part of the issue is that doctors are undereducated, or a lot of doctors are undereducated. Of course, not Mark, but some doctors are undereducated when it comes to addiction and recovery. And so, in this statistics talks about how only a little bit more than half of residency programs had even devoted any time to addiction and recovery, and even when they did, it was about what you're going to get tonight. Medical students in this study were pretty much unable to recognize addiction, even in a chart where addiction was obvious. Here, a lot of primary care doctors were unable to see substance abuse in a chart where there were some pretty obvious signs of early alcohol abuse. So you can see there's a pattern here. And these studies are a little bit old, and hopefully they've gotten somewhat better. Here's another one where even though doctors knew their patients were in recovery, they still prescribed drugs that could be detrimental to their patients' recovery. So it's not a matter of malicious intent, it's a matter of lack of education. And ASAN, which Mark is a part of, has a policy statement from this year which talks specifically about this stuff, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But suffice to say, they talk about not enough education for physicians in terms of recognizing addiction and recovery, or even really knowing what it is. And it's a pretty long statement. It's in your slides, so I'm not going to take a whole lot of time harping on it. Hopefully you can read the handouts if it's not too small in there. And this one is more hopeful. This one says that doctors actually have the capacity to learn, and that if you offer them information, they use it wisely, right? And it can actually help, at least in the case of opioid overdose deaths, probably help people who are in recovery stay in recovery.